In the world of rock and roll, love stories are rarely simple. They're tangled in fame, passion, and the kind of choices that can change the course of not just careers, but lives. Elizabeth Weber once stood at the very heart of Billy Joel's rise, his muse, his manager, and for a time, his greatest love. But behind the romantic ballads and the stadium lights, there was a love triangle, a friendship tested beyond breaking point, and a scandal that would haunt all three lives forever. Today, Elizabeth is speaking out, decades later, about what really happened, why she left her first husband for the man who would become one of music's most legendary songwriters, and why she never considered Billy Joel a homewrecker, even though the rest of the world did. This is a story of love, betrayal, forgiveness, and the long shadows that certain choices can cast. And trust me, you're going to want to hear every word. Subscribe for more fame insights because we bring you the untold stories behind the headlines, the ones that make you see celebrities, not just as stars, but as human beings. Before she became Mrs. Billy Joel, Elizabeth Weber was already a central figure in his world, not as a fan or fleeting romance, but as the wife of his best friend and bandmate, Jon Small. The three of them shared the grind of a young band's life, tiny gigs, endless rehearsals, and big dreams that always seemed just out of reach. Elizabeth's marriage to Jon, as she now admits, wasn't built on a deep, sweeping love. In her words, there wasn't much home to wreck. They had a life together, but it lacked the emotional spark she yearned for. What they had was comfortable, but not soul-stirring. Billy Joel was different. He was young, ambitious, and brimming with emotional honesty, the kind that came out in his music and in the way he connected with people. He noticed things, he listened. And for Elizabeth, who was craving something more, that connection was magnetic. The music scene was intimate and intense. Every rehearsal, every late-night conversation blurred the lines between friendship and something deeper. Before long, their bond turned into a romance they couldn't hide forever. When the affair came to light, it detonated like a bomb in their small circle. The band imploded, friendships collapsed, and Billy Joel's reputation took a beating, not just from outsiders, but from himself. Billy has admitted he saw himself as the homewrecker, the man who crossed an unforgivable line. He said he deserved the punch in the nose that life handed him, but Elizabeth never saw it that way. To her, the relationship with Jon was already over in spirit, and Billy was not destroying something whole. He was part of something new she was building. The cost for Billy was immense. After the band split, he fell into a deep depression that led to 2 suicide attempts. And in a twist worthy of a film, it was Jon Small, the man he had betrayed, who saved him after the second attempt, rushing him to the hospital. Jon would later say the hurt ran so deep because Billy had loved him as a friend, and the pain of causing that harm was crushing. Yet eventually, Jon forgave him. When the story became public, the media devoured it. Headlines reduced it to a simple tale of betrayal, with Billy cast as the villain and Elizabeth as the seductress. Fans were divided. Some swore off his music entirely, while others argued that love sometimes arrives in the most inconvenient, messy ways. With time, though, the narrative began to shift. People started to see the situation not as a cold, calculated betrayal, but as a deeply human, complicated mess where everyone involved was hurt. Their story echoes other music world scandals: Fleetwood Mac's tangled romances, Eric Clapton's love for George Harrison's wife, but one thing makes this story stand out: forgiveness. Jon Small didn't just forgive Billy. He saved his life. It was messy, passionate, and at times devastating. But it was also real. And maybe that's why, after all these years, they can still speak without anger, acknowledging the complicated ways they shaped each other's lives.